So Autodesk has really been looking at the construction industry for a long time, and we think over the next 5 years there's going to be 5 critical things that drive what happens. The first is just growth in the overall market, the emphasis on sustainability. We're seeing joint venturing where companies are coming together to work on projects together, whether in different locations or different organizations within the same company. We're seeing a move towards project-based BIM, and we're also seeing emphasis on digital technology. So if I gave you just a little bit on a few of those, I would say the growth. So we're seeing mature economies recovering right now from the recession. We're seeing emerging countries investing in social and infrastructure. We're also seeing that with digital technology, you're starting to see wearable technology. We're starting to see reality capture with drones. And when you look at all of that, we're seeing that that's going to impact the construction industry going into the future. It'll change how projects are delivered and how they're managed. So we see, because of some of these trends, that there's no way to be able to meet the demands of the construction industry. Today, during the summit, I heard many companies and firms talking about, and the government entities saying, look, we need projects to be delivered more quickly. We need to realize the return on investment sooner. And we have to just be able to get more throughput, but you also have to ensure quality and safety. There's no way you can use the old existing methods, the traditional methods, and still achieve that, because these are demands of more complex projects, larger mega projects. So we really see that technology needs to help. I'll give you an example, a simple one, mobile technology. So I heard one presentation this morning where they said at rail stations, when you're at the track, you had inspectors or supervisors walking around with stacks of paper with clips. And if it was a windy day and you took the clip off, you could lose all the papers. Well, now what we're saying is everybody can have a mobile device, whether it's an iPad or something else, and we're developing technology that can deliver the information, whether it's models or information about all the built assets, right there. So now you can walk around with a mobile device with an application that you can use, which is updating maybe your central database. So it's things like that that will really help the construction industry move forward, as well as building information modeling, or people call it BIM. This is this interconnected data so that you can take the information from planning and design and move it into the construction market so that they can use this for the built environment. And I think that technology is going to be critical for, again, delivering projects faster, delivering them more cost effectively and efficiently, and making sure that safety is always being met. One of the things that Autodesk has been doing is we're trying to work with the younger generation students in secondary school. Sometimes we even go into the younger schools. And one of the big things that we're doing is we're providing our software for free to any student, any faculty member, or academic institution. And we think the way to generate interest from this next generation is give them the tools, give them fun technology. They call this next generation the digital generation, so they're used to working with really cool technology, whether it's games or whatever they're doing. And so what we do is we work closely with education institutions. We also make our software, again, available to all these schools. We try to get it into their curriculum, so for construction management. We also work with organizations that are focused on STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, to try to get students really interested in this field, because we're finding that boys and girls aren't maybe going into the construction field because they think, oh, it's not cool, it doesn't have the latest technology. And what we're trying to do is break that view or that old image and say, it's actually cool. Look at all the technology you can use, and look what you can deliver, and what the future buildings can look like, cities can look like, roads and bridges can look like, and try to make it interesting for them. So Autodesk was really excited to be a sponsor of the Construction Summit this year because of all the great things we see happening in this marketplace. Construction, by the way, I've seen estimates that says by the year 2020, there's going to be 70% growth in this market. That means there's going to be a lot of projects. There's a lot of projects in the pipeline that are going to get funded, whether it's private or public funding or a merger of both. And Autodesk really wanted to sponsor this summit because we feel that these are important issues that national and local governments are dealing with, that engineering service providers are dealing with, and construction service providers. And we wanted to, A, make sure we know what their issues are, and make sure that the technology that we're bringing to the market help them really achieve their business objectives. I've really enjoyed the sessions where people were talking about big projects, whether it was Network Rail, there was a building project that was being discussed, and they talked about the complexity of the project, how large the project was, how they had to work with multiple teams, and how do you collaborate with amongst different locations. So to me, it was just really interesting to hear about how the problems have changed. They're interesting problems, and probably the most interesting, because I come from technology, is how they were using technology to help solve those problems.